AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, corporate marketing specialist.
And Erica and I are so excited to introduce you to our newest block on board, or Bob die, the Go Pickle Dish.
That's right. And since this is a Bob die, all of the shapes that you need to make the classic pickle dish pattern are on one die board. Now the best part is that even though this block might look difficult, it's really easy to piece together. Pam, have you ever made a pickle dish block before this?
I can't imagine doing it without a die. In fact, this is a block that's typically made with paper piecing or templates, right? Think of how difficult and time consuming it would be to cut out all of these little shapes by hand. But AccuQuilt does make your job so much easier by adding that 1/4-inch seam allowance, specialized dog ears, and notches to help you sew those curved pieces together perfectly.
That's right, and we're going to show you how to make this fun project that we have called Go Pennant Mania.
I just love it.
Now before we get started, be sure to download this free pattern from AccuQuilt.com.
All right, Erica, before we get started, let's look at this die.
Perfect.
Oh, it's so fun. Okay, so first of all, quilters, it's on a 10 by 24 die board.
Right.
So it will fit through your Go Big, and your Studio cutter with the appropriate adapter. Make sure you're using a 10 by 24 cutting mat.
That's right. Next up, the die has screen printed letters for easy placement of the fabric and to help you keep your pieces organized. Now shapes E and F
right here
make the arch of the pickle dish. So we've got the arch here.
Yep.
So we want you to visualize as we go. The D and DR are for the ends of the arch. So that's going to be D and D right, of course. Shape A is the center. So it's that football shape, that orange peel shape piece. There you go.
That's going to go to that arch.
And shape C is the outer arch. Now, notice those notches. Those are going to match up with the notches that Pam mentioned earlier for easy piecing and sewing. Now, all of the shapes have a 1/4-inch seam allowance, and they all have the specialized dog ears to make it really easy to line them up and get great results.
You know, and you and I both tested this die, and we found that it worked beautifully just like that, right?
But that's a great point.
Yes,
make a test block, always.
Now, not only did we screen print the letters and have those notches, but the die is actually separated by color.
Yes.
So the arch here and the A center are one color, little B is the corners, this is one color, and these are one color.
Right.
So it really helps when you're subcutting your fabric to cut your pieces.
Right, but you could totally go scrappy and cut a variety of colors on this pattern too.
Right. Shape F is going to be the white, which is the top of the arch here.
Right.
And look how we totally made shape E scrappy, but you could totally make it one color as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's lay out the fabric on the die. Now remember, you want to keep track of your lengthwise grain when you've got those lengthwise blade pieces. So you've got a die, I've got a die, we'll use your die.
Yes, and I think I've subcut some fabric
for
us.
So here's your fabric.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to start off with is up here, which is shape F, which is the top of this arch, right? And you want to make sure, this is how you're going to know you're sewing it together, right, Erica? The notches are going to be on the outside.
Yep.
That way you're going to know. All right, so remember you can always cut 6 layers of quilting cotton.
Right.
Right, so I've subcut my fabric here. This is D and DR, so this is D and DR. These are those half triangles.
Right.
Right, now E, we want it to just be a variety of colors because I love the colors in this quilt.
I do too, I do too.
So we have 6 layers right here, and I just measured a 1/4 inch on either side in the height.
Perfect.
Just added it here. I just love the scrappiness of this. I'm all about it.
You know, you can cut all kinds of different fabrics with our dies, but in this case, this is a block that I'm going to say you really want to stick to your quilting cotton with, don't you?
You do. And you want to make sure you have really good quilting cotton so it doesn't.
Yes, you want quality fabric.
Have a lot of pieces there, okay? So now I've covered up all of my shapes. Make sure we're good right here.
Yep.
And then we're going to get our 10 by 24 cutting mat.
And I happen to have one.
Excellent.
Right here. Here we go.
All right. Now remember, you can use our Go or our Go Big. We're going to use our Go Big fabric cutter today. All right, Miss Erica, I'm going to let you run that through the cutter. Now, Erica, you know that I am a huge modern quilter, so I love the bright colors in this project. But maybe you want to change up the colorway. right?
That's true.
Right?
That's
you
true.
could totally do like red, white, and blue for the 4th of July.
Yep.
You could do spring. You could do Halloween colors. You know
Could
how
do
I
Halloween.
do love.
Oh, yes, that's great.
We also have that great program, Go Quilt, right? That you can totally change the colorway. All right, now as the die has come through the cutter, static is built up.
Yes.
So you want to give that mat a little bit of love and slide your mat, don't lift, otherwise the pieces all go everywhere. We speak from experience.
We do.
All right, so now I'm just going to really carefully pull back my fabric. And you really want to keep track of these pieces.
Yes, you do. We both found that when we were putting together our test blocks.
Right.
Okay, we're going to get these all off here. Let me give you a hand.
There we go.
And then we can go ahead and take a look at how we're going to be piecing this together.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, Erica, is that we're going to sew shapes F and E together.
Okay.
And we have a sample here of one of the arches that we've already made.
Yes.
So I'm just going to show you how easy it is to chain piece. Now, really important to keep D and DR separate. So what I did was I just kept them here on the die board and I sewed a block together at a time.
I did too.
Yeah, that way
I did
you
the
just
same
know.
thing.
All right, so I'm going to start here with F. Now remember, quilters, I'm going to turn it this way. You want the notches facing out.
So we're really alternating.
Yes.
So we're going to have notches on either side. So all the white notches are going to be on the outside, all the colorful notches on the inside.
Just like
That'll
that.
help you get them all laid out, because we may have sewn some together incorrectly while we were doing our
might.
test blocks.
We might
It's
have.
possible.
All right, so the cool thing is, Erica, look at this. Now I'm going to just flip it right here, and we have those specialized dog ears. So from this point here to this point here is a perfect
It's
quarter inch.
perfect. And this is a great chain piecing project. We're just going to keep and alternate colors. I'm
Yeah,
going to
we're
grab
just
a
going to
couple
sew
for
a
you.
few of these together for you, show you how they work. Okay, and Erica, I'm going to tell our quilters, I just did one block at a time.
I did too.
Yeah, and that way I made sure that, you know, I had all my pieces in the right order and that everything worked together.
It just seemed to work a little bit happier for me.
Right. And I didn't ever pin these two pieces together because we have those notches.
We've got the notches.
Yeah. All right, let's do one more color.
All right.
And then I'm going to give them to you to press.
Now, are we going to press these open?
We are going to press these open. And the reason why is otherwise it gets so much bulk.
There's a lot of seams here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, here we go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to pass
Okay,
these
I'm going
on
to press
to you.
these, and then we can start looking at putting together our arch.
Excellent. All right, so once Erica is done pressing those out, we're going to show you how we're just going to sew a couple of the shapes together, because then I'm going to show you how to add the D and the DR. All right, you want to make sure that you keep these separate. All right?
Yes. Yeah, it's worth your time to keep track of your pieces, quilters. It really is.
It is. I really like this die. I can see all sorts of
You were
possibilities.
so excited when this came out.
I really was.
Testing this. She was like a kid in a candy store.
All right, so see right here we have this is piece D, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So what we're going to do is, there we go. So I'm going to add just another shape here to the outside, and then I'm just going to show you how to add that shape D. Again, quilters, we're watching how our notches lay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go sew here. Always make sure. And look, because we sewed that 1/4 inch seam, everything lines up.
Yes.
Boy, if you can sew a 1/4 inch seam, quilters, you can make this project.
Absolutely. All right.
There we go. All right, will you press that open real
I
quick
will.
for me?
I will,
and then
I will.
I'm going to show them how to add that little half
Add that
triangle.
little half triangle. Perfect. And this is definitely someplace else where you want to be sure you check your 1/4 inch seam allowance too, quilters.
Yes. Yes. Okay, perfect.
That may have been the voice of experience talking.
Yes. All right, so now on the left side is D and the right side is DR, right? So again, I'm going to just make sure that I did this right. There we go.
Yep.
All right. You want to make sure that this corner is the straight part, not the 1/4 inch seam. Okay. So I'm good there.
She is. And again, those specialized dog ears are so important because it just makes it line up so well. And it does reduce some of the bulk too.
It does. Just think of how time consuming it would be.
Pam, I was just thinking that. I can't imagine doing this any other way. All right, I'm going to press that open real quick for you.
Okay. So you would continue following the pieces so that you're sewing those E's and F's together. Make sure that you're following that pattern right so that the notches go the correct way. All right.
All right, so there's D also, so that's going to match up just like that at the end of the arch.
And then you would continue it here and then add the DR to the last piece.
Perfect.
All right, so look how cool that is. All right, now, this is really important. You want to make sure
out of the way.
You're following the instructions here. Now, in your quilting head, you're going to think, oh, I want to add this arch to the outside here.
Right.
That's not what you need to do that. Yes, but wait, there's more. What you want to do now is once we have sewn one arch to the half of shape A, okay, we now want to create another segment. But what we want to do first is we want to sew this arch to this outer arch, and then we're going to add that shape B.
Oh, yes,
right
and
then when we sew it together, it will be long enough to fit over this and make your pickle dish. Otherwise, you have to do the dreaded Y seam.
Right.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to start right here, and I'm going to pin. Erica, you'd be so proud of me.
I am.
Okay. So we're just going to start here. Make sure, quilters, again, that you're doing that really good 1/4 inch seam. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Yep.
Okay. I love the colors of this.
I know, they're so pretty and bright. But you know, you could do this same quilt in a different colorway.
Right. Now, do you remember, like, my grandma had pickle dishes when I was a kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somewhere my mother has one.
Oh, gosh. You should totally get it out. Yeah, and that's all that was ever in it. There was never olives in it. There was just pickles in the pickle dish.
I'm pretty sure a lot of different things have been in my mother's pickle dishes. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
So we have the debate on pickles. Do you have the debate on pickles in your house?
Of whether you should eat them?
Sweet versus dill? Or,
yeah. We do. And truly, it just all wins out. I mean, we just have all different kinds.
Yeah.
Bread and butter are my favorite. All right, so see what I've done here? I've started here in the end.
Yep.
And I've just added this arch, and it will fit perfectly.
Perfect.
All right. And you want to make sure you get that straight there on the end.
Yes, you might want to use a stiletto. It might be helpful because you want all those, the beginning and ending, to be smooth. Now, we've done this in very bold modern colors like Pam loves, but we've got an example behind me on the wall of one done in very muted colors.
That one's so pretty.
So
and the quilting on it is phenomenal.
And it has a whole different look to it, doesn't it?
It does.
I also think I want to make one in reproduction fabrics.
Oh, that would be really fun.
That would be really fun, and it would give it that that traditional look, that timely look. I'm brewing it in my quilting head, as we say.
There you go. Oakley, my granddaughter, thinks it looks like shark teeth.
Oh, yes.
So wouldn't that be
or
fun?
Monsters.
Monsters, totally monster teeth. I think that would be fun for a kid's room to do that kind of.
Oh, it would be. It would be. You could put googly eyes on it.
Look at us thinking about stuff while we're making stuff. All right, here we go. Okay. And I'm almost to the end here. And it went together perfectly because we have those little notches in there. Gosh. Again, Erica, I can't even imagine trying to do this.
Oh, no.
With a template.
All right, so how about if I give that a press?
Yes. You want to press to the little outside.
The outside? Okay.
Yep.
Here's your...
And it's going to kind of naturally go that way anyway.
Perfect. Seam allowance matters on this, so there's
It
just
does.
so many
otherwise
pieces.
Your block is going to be wonky.
Yes.
No wonky blocks.
No wonky blocks. Okay, there you go. Presses out really easily, really,
it does,
really
and
nicely.
it naturally goes that way.
It does.
Okay. All right, so now here's the trick, right? We want to add this 2.5 inch square to the outside.
Yes.
Okay, then it will be long enough to match the other side of the
other
arch.
piece, yep.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just gonna go right here. And look, I think I can just go right here.
Can you? Oh,
I'm gonna try.
look at that.
I'm gonna try. There we go. Yeah, otherwise, Erica, you have to sew those Y seams, and nobody wants to do that.
They're not bad, but if you don't have to do them, there's really no point in it.
Okay, so look, we've added that. So now this is a straight edge, and this is a straight edge.
And
so
I'm going to give that a press
yes,
for you. Okay.
Please. And I'm going to get ready to do the other side.
Right, so you're going to go ahead and sew the arch onto that other side now before we put
Yes.
the two sides
Yes.
together. That's
Yep.
great.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, okay? And the reason it's going to work is because then this other arch here will be longer. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to do this. Take your time.
Let's get this out of your way
Yes.
here.
All right, Miss Erica, so now we've sewn this outer arch.
Yes.
So will you press that
I will.
for me?
All right, here you
Here
go.
we go. All right, so look at this, ta-da-ta-da.
Yep.
That's gonna allow you so that you don't have to make Y seams. So I'm gonna flip it on this side and start from the center. And I'm just gonna add these, pin these little notches just like we've been doing all along.
Yep, it's perfect. But again, this is a block to take your time with,
Yes,
to pin,
yes.
to pay attention to your alignment.
Oh
It
yeah, and
makes
your
a
seam
difference.
allowance. Make sure you have that 1/4 inch foot on there. All right, see how it's all pinned together? Does this remind you of your dressmaking days?
Yes, it does actually.
All right, Miss Erica, let's see how we did. Look at this.
Look at that. It's-
Okay, I'm gonna have you give it a little press so
Yep.
that you can see. And when I finish my block, I wanna make sure that I use a really good press on it, but we'll have you do a little press here.
Yes, I will do a little press.
All right, and then I'm gonna, while she's pressing, we're gonna talk to you about the other shapes right here in this quilt. This is triangle in a square, which is a super fun, really easy block to make. All right, so what we're gonna do, while Erica's doing that, I'll talk about the
press.
two dies. The two dies you're gonna need from the 6-inch cube are shapes 13 and 14. This is an isosceles triangle, and this are the triangle in a square sides. So as we prep the fabric for this, I'm going to talk to you a little bit. We're going to start here on this one. You want to make sure you fan fold your fabric back and forth in equal numbers so that you get a left and a right for your triangle. It's pretty easy now because we're just using black, right? It doesn't really make a difference. All right, so I've taken my fabric, fan fold back and forth. And then Erica, you want to talk about the cut and flip method.
Yes, so with this, we want, you know, Pam and I, we love our fabric. So we want to save as much of our fabric as we can. So we're gonna go ahead and do a couple of cuts on this, but we've cut with the fabric strips. And then we are going to go ahead, do our first cut, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna flip it so that I save my fabric.
Yes. Now we're using our Go Big today, so we can actually run both of these dies through.
We can.
In one pass.
We can. Here, let me get my little tail out of the way here.
There you go.
All right.
And remember, quilters, there's no blades inside the cutter, so you can have that little tail.
Okay, we're having a race.
There you go.
Just a little die race.
Just a little die race. When it gets to the other side, it's just gonna stop.
I think it was a tie.
Okay, we're gonna give it some love. So here's those half little I call them half rectangles, but triangle and square sides, and then show us the next step here on that stack and flip.
So here we've cut.
Oh, cut and flip. There we go.
We've cut some. Now we're going to go ahead and flip this over.
So you could actually do 6 layers.
You could. We're going to put the mat back on, cut again. Again, my little tail is just going to lay there. It's not going to cause any kind of a problem for us.
It's not. Okay.
And I love doing this because there's just no waste.
Yes, it's just
look at that.
Yep. So you continue to do that.
Right.
All right, so let me show you how to sew one side to the other, and we'll press it, and then we'll finish our block. So how did our little pickle dish block turn out?
It turned out beautifully, as we knew it would, right here. And again, we'd probably use a big iron on this to get it all the way pressed out like this one. But so nicely, and really, we're already halfway done with the center of that block, right?
Yes. All right, so I'm gonna take my triangle and a square, and again, you can use a variety of colors like we did here in the quilt. Again, a great chain piecing block. I'm gonna just line it up just like this. Look at how great this works, because once again, we've cut off the dog ears.
Yes.
You just always know where to sew with AccuQuilt. Okay.
This is such a versatile unit to put into quilts.
Have you made triangle and square other blocks?
I have. I've done so many things with it, and it just gives you that sense of motion.
Yes.
It's just very useful. And here it looks like pennants, which hence the name. So we're going to go ahead and get a couple of these put together.
Gonna sew 2 of them together here.
So we can show you how they're going to go together.
Again, quilters, this is a great chain piecing tip. I feel like anytime I can chain piece, it's a win.
It's a win.
All right, so I'm gonna have Erica press these to the outside.
Okay.
All right. And again, if you fan fold back and forth, that's how you're gonna get a left and a right.
I press at your command.
Thank you.
Here's your first one. You can start sewing.
All right, Miss Erica, I'm gonna add this left side to our triangle and a square. And again, we've cut off those dog ears. It's gonna piece together perfectly.
Yep.
Great for chain piecing.
And we'll just get that one done.
Yep.
Perfect.
Great. All right, and now I'm gonna have you press it open.
I will.
And here is one that we've already created. And again, you can see how perfect it comes together. We have those dog ears. It's gonna be great.
There's another one right there.
There we go.
So continue to follow the pattern instructions by adding that triangle and a square border and your cornerstones. Layer the batting between the quilt top and the backing. Pin or baste your layers together and quilt as desired. Add the binding, and don't forget, miter your corners.
Quilters, this project is perfect for a bright summer table topper or even a quaint picnic blanket. Don't forget the pickle dish.
You can make so many fun projects because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
so you can quilt more.